Okay, hi, welcome everybody. I'm David Grossman from Rocker Mortgage, Real Mortgage Associates, and I'm here today with Vadim Valensky. We have a few things today's meeting. It's a 1 hour meeting. We're keeping our meetings to exactly 1 hour now, and there's basically three things that are going to be on the agenda today. We have Vadim Valensky for approximately 10 minutes. He is an incredible young man, and he's a real estate sales representative, and he's hitting amazing targets. He's 1%, a top 1% in all of Canada in transactions. He did about what, 69 or 70 ends last year, and he's out there and he's rocking and rolling. I wanted to bring him on because I think no matter what business you're in, there's certain rules that apply, certain principles, and one of the key things is no matter what you want to do, whether you want to become a successful mortgage agent or whatever, or a real estate agent maybe, whatever it is you want to do, there's one the most important thing is that you have to be 100% committed to make it. You have to be able to do what it takes to make it. And that's what we're here to talk to Vadim about. A little bit later in the call, we're launching some marketing services. If any of our existing agents at Rock Your Mortgage or any new agents who want to join us, who want to become licensed, want to join our team, I'm going to share those with you. And we also have a surprise lender coming up, a lender who has saved our butt and made us look really good on more than one occasion. It's a surprise. You'll be surprised who they are. They're an A lender. It's a bank, ladies and gentlemen. So, Vadim, tell us about yourself. How long have you been in the real estate game? What motivates you to do the exceptional? Tell us about your day. What does it look like?
David, thank you so much, first of all, for having me. It's absolutely a pleasure, and I'm very humbled by the experience. What motivates me is my big why, that wall that I'm always thinking about it, and I'm asking myself, how can my life look like if I took ownership of my life? And this is what always in the back of my mind, I keep remembering that I used to work at a job where I used to hate, even though it was my own business, but I didn't enjoy it. And I'm thinking to myself that I knew back then that I could do better and I can work with my own schedule. I can work with clients and have a much better lifestyle. And what really keeps me motivated is helping out families. It's never been the commission. It has never been, and it will not be the commission because if you're doing it for the money, you will burn out so quick that you can't even imagine. So it has to be a true passion for helping clients to be able to find a home, either sell their home or help them purchase a home. So this is the biggest thing, and a lot of salespeople, in my opinion, they get it wrong. They go after the money, and they quickly enough realize that okay, it's hard to make the money, and they get burned out, or they try to push the clients to purchase a home that doesn't meet their needs. And then any person, any homeowner can feel it right away. The moment you're going after the commission, they can sense that feeling, they can smell that breath of commission, that they will right away not want to work with you. So the key with, and the reason why I'm successful is I'm okay to tell people that this home is not the right one for you. I'm good with it. I feel comfortable saying that this is the wrong home. I don't think you should buy it. As long as I provide them with the information why I think this way, I'm not saying, oh, I don't like this neighborhood, but I give them the actual facts and help them guide them to make their own decisions so they realize for themselves that this is not the right home. This is how I find that I build trust this way.
Vadim,
Yeah.
tell us what does a typical day look like for you? I mean, when we started off the call, you told me you're up at 5 in the morning. What does your day look like? How important is it to be cold calling, door knocking, prospecting for new business? Is that an important part of your day?
It's I think it's this is everything. So I know that there are people that they maybe rely on some leads, or they might have this magic pill where they're saying, well, we will get a database from people, we will figure out To me, I always saw it is that the effort and the work I put in, that's what I get back. And I've been in business for 3 years now, and I'm in the top percent, 1% in Toronto and Canada. But it's not because I went and I bought leads. It's because I picked up the phone. I'm dialing every single morning, and I'm using a software that helps me do the dialing so that I can purely focus on the conversation. But I'm speaking to anywhere between 70 to 100 people every single day on the phone. Usually it's between 9 to 12, 9 to 1, depending on how it goes. Then I take a small break, follow up, do my social media marketing, and then around 3 o'clock to 5, 3 to 6 p.m., that's when I'm door knocking. And that's 6 days a week. This is something that you have to understand that it might feel like it's very repetitive, and I'm perfectly fine. This is how it's supposed to feel. You're prospecting, you're building your business. You need to put in the legwork.
Okay, so what's that like now in COVID? I mean, people are afraid to answer their door. They're afraid to knock on doors. What's the typical conversation like when you when you knock on doors?
But David, so it's all, in my opinion, it's all in your mind. It's you tell yourself, people are afraid, people are this and that. You tell yourself, you get cold feet, and you don't actually want to do the job. I don't tell myself that. I tell myself, my goal is to go and have great conversations with people. That's it. I'm not there when I'm door knocking. I'm not there trying to solicit for business. I'm just going in, and I'm off the porch. I knock, or I ring the bell, and I step away 8 feet, 9 feet, whatever it is, and I'm having a conversation to see how they're doing. I, they, in a way, they're supposed to know who I am because I market in the same area, but I'm just there to have a conversation. I'm not there to try to close them, or I'm not trying to sell them anything. Having conversations. And then, by the way, my name is Vadim Vilensky. I sell real estate in the area. If you were to receive the number that you wish number, would you consider selling? And that's how I create the conversation. But that's after you create some rapport.
Okay, so that's quite remarkable. Now, you mentioned the why has to do with helping people. Do you think that it also makes a difference, like if the people have a part-time job? I mean, if you go in and you have a family, I know you're a family man, and you're actually, you feel like it's your mission to not only take care of your wife and your child, but also to do what you can to help your parents.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes a big difference?
It's a huge difference. And then this is where I realized that I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now as a part-time. I had to just, I saved up 6 months of income. I knew that, okay, 6 months, that's what approximately will take me for the first paycheck. But I knew that as a professional, I have to be 100% with this business. I can't do it on a part-time basis where I'm running a job 9 to 5 and then I'm trying to show more listings afterwards, because people can feel that you're not 100% there for them. And if you, let's say, if you're working and then you're getting back your client 3 hours later, they will lose interest as well. So I can tell you that the biggest thing, of course, is the family, to know that I can provide them a better future. And you know that my parents have immigrated twice. So the mentality of my parents was always save money or don't work too many hours because you will pay too much money in taxes. And then I had to break that mentality for myself. I knew that I want to become successful. And I had to ask myself, I said to myself, what income do I need to generate to be able to really enjoy my life and not stress out when I'm going out to a restaurant, and ask myself, can I order $100 bottle of wine or not? And then I went backwards to realize how much work I need to put in to be able to generate this kind of income.
Okay, well, Vadim, kudos to you for doing the work, doing what needs to be done. A lot of people are afraid. They make excuses. And I first met you probably close to 20 years ago. Between 15 and 20 years ago, had the pleasure. Rob Gasner introduced us. You were a younger man at that time, still in school. I saw the promise. I saw the commitment in your eyes. I've stayed in touch with you and your parents. Very fine people, very fine family. It's a pleasure to know you. I saw you posting videos, recording your cold calling, recording your cold calling. Obviously, just your end. You didn't. Why did you do that?
So it's in a way, I wanted to show people, and this is what you can check out my YouTube channel easily, and you will see that I wanted to show people that it's easy to have conversations. You don't need to, you do need to follow a certain script, but you can't sound like a robot when you're having a conversation. When I'm going on the phone and I'm trying to make phone calls, I'm treating people as if they are family or friends. I'm not treating them as a sell or this is a commission paycheck. I'm treating them as I would call my family and friends, having conversations. And that's what I wanted to share with people as well. I wanted to show them that, look, you don't need to try to close them on the phone. Just create a conversation and have a strong follow-up. And this is something that I think I'm doing very well is I'm creating conversations. At the end of the day, if I had some really good conversation, I will send out a thank you card. So I'll have a written card saying, hey, David, it was really great talking to you. I hope you enjoy your week. Should you need anything, here's my business card. So I will create this, and it became a system. And then I put them into my follow-up of my CRM that I will follow up with them again in 3 months and again in 3 months. And then step by step, all of a sudden you're creating a relationship and not just a cold lead. And we're in the business of relationships.
Vadim, very inspiring. Somebody's asking, oh yeah, the link to your video, to your cold call videos, those are all on your YouTube channel, I assume, right?
Yes, I will add it.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube/forward Vadim Vilensky.
YouTube Vadim Vilensky. Okay, got it. Awesome. I don't want to keep you any longer because I know you probably get out and pound the pavement.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks. I have my schedule right there. It says in red, door knocking. So
that's time.
The schedule, it happens. And this is another thing that you need to do. Create a schedule, place things there in advance, block the white space. The white space is the devil, as we say. If you were to work in a 9-to-5 job, you would know what to do. As a salesperson, we tend to do whatever we want.
Okay, it seems that
and you have to follow it because if you don't follow it, you will get fired.
Okay, Vadim, very inspiring. We thank you very, very, very much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again. Have an amazing afternoon. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, friends, that was Vadim Vilensky. Check out his YouTube channel. Great guy if you're thinking about selling your home as well. At least you know he's out there talking to people non-stop all day long. He said 70 calls, door knocking all afternoon, doesn't stop to do the necessary, to do what needs to be done. If you're committed, that's crucial. You have to do what needs to be done. Oh, there's a picture of Vadim. This is Vadim. I saw this on his timeline when he was a kid, still working the phones. Too bad I didn't get to show him that. Anyhow, okay, so what are we here to talk about today? We've got about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're going to bring in our surprise lender, okay? And we're going to be done by 4 o'clock. So I'm launching a program. It does cost money to be part of this program. If you want to be a mortgage agent with us, or if you're an existing mortgage agent, it will cost money, and not because I wanted to be in the business of selling marketing material, but because there's a cost for us to put it together. We want you to help you grow your business. I've hired an assistant. Some of you who know me or are part of the team will have met Robert before, Robert Burry. And one of Robert's tasks will be to take the emails that I've been working on. I've been doing email marketing now for about 10 years. It's something I'm proud of. One of the guys on our team, Shiva, if you ask him, he'll tell you when he was doing it, he was getting leads. These emails, it's all custom content, video. We bring people into educational opportunities, learning about taxes, learning about real estate investing. Sometimes we target specific groups of people, whether they're real estate agents. Right now, from a mortgage point of view, we're targeting real estate agents, and Robert actually has a team of people working under him. We'll get him to comment on that shortly. But he's working with this team. We are building a database. If you join our team, you will be given a group of real estate agents that you can target, and you will be given this email platform. It is turnkey. We will send out to your database up to 500 people. These have to be legitimate contacts that you're allowed to, that you've connected with. We will send out the emails that I've been sending out for the last 10 years. I'm going to show you just a few of them. Some of you people will have seen my emails. I'm trying to up the game now. I hired a second graphic designer to come up with a template, a new template for the banner. So I'll show you that. If you received the email from this morning, you will have seen that. So that's new. You'll get at least one email a week will go out to your database. Okay. Again, part of the database, we're going to provide it for you. It's going to go out to real estate agents who have opted in to our program, because we have people calling now, as I said, and asking if people want to opt in for educational workshops, yoga classes sponsored by Rock Your Mortgage. Okay, as I said, podcasts, education, musical fundraisers, all things to help build goodwill. We will provide you with coaching, scripting, and as I said, the database to help you move your business along. And also, when you come up with mortgage leads, if you're not experienced in the business, there's a lot to know. We will help you with that also. Okay. Here is the image of the email that went out today. So you may have seen that. Email has been the cornerstone of my marketing. When I first got into the business about 18 years ago, I started meeting people, many who were real estate agents, and from time to time, well, approximately once a week, when I would learn something new, I would write about it and I would send it out to them. Okay. Of course, you have to call as well and make those phone calls. But the email was something that I took pride in. I worked on it. So I've been doing these email marketing now for about 15 years. And I feel that now is the time for me to be able to offer that to other mortgage agents. So again, if you opt into this program, these emails will go out with your name, your contact information, your professional photo, and it will drive people to apply on a link that they can have mortgage calculators to see how much they can qualify for. They can apply online or just pick up the phone and give you a call. So this is the banner. You can see it's blank on the bottom part of the banner. Your name and contact information will go on that banner if you opt into the program. This is the first email I sent out of the year. Again, I just upped the level of the graphics. So I'm just showing you this so you can see an idea of the type of content that we're sending out to people. Why did I start off the year talking about self-employed mortgages and a special offer? Well, as mortgage brokers, we here at Rock Your Mortgage believe it's very important to choose a niche market. And by that, I mean we don't compete on price, okay? We have some very good pricing. I have pricing with the credit union now, actually 3 institutions, 5-year fixed rate mortgages at 1.59%, variable rate mortgages at 1.1. But I don't lead with that. Every newsletter that goes out will also include in it a section that talks about pricing. So if you go back to this banner, this is exactly what it delivers: news, events, and rate offers. So every single email that goes out is going to have something about self-employed mortgages or something like that. This last one that just went out last week talked about the reverse mortgage market, okay, or the reverse mortgage pricing. Little article, and then it'll push people not too long, and it may link them back to our blog or to some article, and so there's new and the information that's provided, the news that's provided, is often designed to drive questions that will highlight our strengths. So, for example, if we um, if we look at this particular email from the beginning of the year, no tax, 1 or 2 year term rates just dropped to 2.74%. Question: aren't best available rates under 2%? Why would anyone want to pay 2.74% when best rates are under 2? That's when I get into a short discussion there about how the self-employed mortgage works. It's a mortgage where some people are saving tens of thousands of dollars in their taxes because they're reporting very little after expenses, not enough to get them the mortgage they want, but they're saving a lot of money in income tax. They pay a little bit more on their rate and can save tens of. So again, the products that we highlight, the news that we provide is designed to generate inquiries that lead into our strengths. Yes, we do handle first-time buyers as well, and that's a whole other thing. And reverse mortgages, people who own multiple properties and have maxed out with the bank, developers who need construction financing, people who have credit issues, and so on. So the articles are kind of centered around that. And here was one that was for the last event of the year. Again, the level of graphics is now officially going up, but this can give you a sense of the contact. Who out there do you know that provided a entertainment to their client base on December the 30th, between Christmas and New Year's, just after this past year, just before or just after, rather, the announcement of further lockdowns came in the province of Ontario. So in this particular Zoom broadcast, I gave a little talk about 15 minutes long, continually reinforcing messages about Rock Your Mortgage, which you would be a part of, obviously, if you join our team. And key takeaways for the year. What did we learn about business and real estate and in 2020? And if you want to see that, it is we record everything too. So that is on our channel, our YouTube channel. You can watch that if you haven't seen it. Then I did an interview with the daughter of a guy. We're doing a fundraising initiative for him. He's a musician. He has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and he is not able to play the guitar and sing anymore, but he's written a lot of poems. So we were going out to the musical community, and we've created this group, a Facebook group, and a whole bunch of people have produced songs. Musicians have created songs to his poems, and so we talked about that, and their family's journey. So all this is designed to bring goodwill to our branding, things that feel good, and to help out where we can. And then there was live music. I actually played about a half a dozen tunes, but we've done many events in the past. And here's an example of one. When people were allowed to leave their homes, we did many different kinds of fundraisers, causes for animals, and cancer, and different things. So that is something very much of which we're a part of. And again, it brings goodwill, and in times when people are actually allowed to gather, lots of fun and great networking and presence in the community. So you would all benefit from that as well if you're part of Rock Your Mortgage. Here's Angela. Angela Lonzai is a recent agent or somebody who recently joined our team. As it happens, Angela also had produced music events, and we met at one of her events. So she's joined our team. If you join, you will get a page like this, where with a bio, and also on each page there is a calculator. There are mortgage calculators that are custom for each person, so that if somebody clicks on it and works on the calculator and then wants to proceed with an application, it'll be identified that application belongs to you. We use Finmo as the kind of a background for collecting applications. Finmo is a mortgage software, and they have additional packages which we use, but those are optional. You don't have to use those. Those are very, very handy for document collection. But the basic app, which collects applications from people, is no extra cost. Okay, so it's online applications, which is very, very important for cutting down paperwork and making sure that information that people input into your forms is accurate if they've entered. Of course, you have to double check everything with them and triple check to make sure what you send the lenders is accurate and that you can back it up with documentation. But online applications are very, very important. So quick recap, because we're going to get to speaking with our lender. I see that Jessica joined us shortly from TD. Actually, TD is the lender, and we're going to talk to Jessica in just a few minutes. So summary of the program: $199 per month, gives you up to 4 emails per month. So this is really your only fee, other than the sign-up fee, which is usually between $1,500 and $2,000 per year for licensing and association dues and insurance. Okay, that is largely those fees. We don't make money on that. I'm licensed through Real Mortgage Associates. So in our advertising, all of our advertising, we include the name of Real Mortgage Associates. We may eventually become our own brokerage, but for now we're not. Their responsibility is to deal with our compliance and payroll, and that's it. Otherwise, we run our own shop here. So again, the emails, once per week or 4 per month minimum, webinars, podcasts, educational events, news, and application management, as I said, so that these are links. You will get links that you can put anywhere. Okay, we are working on a sort of a turnkey social media management offer as well. We don't have that yet, but you can take these links and you can take the content that's provided and share it on your own social media and have the links on your social media as well. So so these are very important steps, obviously, in addition to making the calls and getting the support you need to move people through the sales cycle. I've been in sales all of my life. Since I was 15 years old, I started off selling chimney cleaning and carpet cleaning, and all my life I've been in sales, high-tech sales, and eventually got into mortgages because I felt that it made sense for me, and I've been at it for 18 years, no turning back, and looking to grow. And that's why I recently hired Robert. Robert, do you want to take a minute to say something?
Sure. So right now I'm just working on managing a call team, and we're trying to broaden our reach towards new agents. Right now we're just marketing the webinar series, but once this is completed, we will be following up and adding on new agents that we can promote our services.
Right. So like real estate agents, of course. And it's not the only group that we will target, but at this time, our campaign is designed to target real estate agents, because real estate agents I find, really depend on mortgage brokers. And if you can help a real estate agent make their deal, that is a big, big win for them. And that's a very good segue. And of course, through the entire process, right? Because half the business is finding business, and the other is learning the business, having the technical knowledge, and so forth, which is all what we can help you with. Both sides of the business we can help you with. Okay, here's our contact information. If you don't already have it, snap a photo. But when I was speaking about real estate agents, and this is a good segue to introduce Jessica. Jessica, hi, are you there? Jessica Mazza? Oh, I got it. Maybe I have to unmute her.
Hi, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, Jessica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great, great. We cannot see you, but we can hear you.
I think my video should be coming up in just a minute because I did click start video and I got some prompt to say allow access. So just bear with me.
There
How
you
about
are.
now?
Okay, yeah, we can see you. I can see a still image of you. Okay, anyhow,
Okay.
good, good. Thank you so much for joining us. Very much appreciated. Did you say that was your supervisor going to also join, or?
Yes, my boss is going to join. I don't know if she's already on the call. You may see her name pop up, Sophia Hondrogenis.
Okay, well, if she's here, if she joins, she can always introduce herself. Oh, there, I think
sure.
she's joining now. Okay, great.
Okay, perfect.
So what I wanted to say was, well, let's see, what did I want to say? It's really important to have a good strategic partner. And while I did focus for many years on B business, and it's still a very important part of my business, I really do enjoy dealing with first-time home buyers. And there's a lot of tricky deals out there. Oh yeah, here was the example. I've told my team before, and I may have mentioned this to you, Jessica, that somebody came to me that was pre-approved by another bank. I won't mention the bank because it's not really important. They were pre-approved by another bank, and but the person didn't do a very good job and did not properly communicate to the purchaser that if they were buying a condo and there were maintenance fees, that those would have to be incorporated in the debt servicing calculations. So this person thought they were pre-approved. Real estate agent spent, an amazing amount of time working with these people, only to find out 3 days into a 5-day financing condition that they could not get the mortgage. So it was referred to me. I spoke to the borrower applicants to understand their situation. I found out that they had the principal, one of the main borrower, in addition to his regular full-time job, he also had a part-time job. And even though he wasn't in that part-time job for 2 years, which is an important criteria for a lot of A lenders, it was a major employer, and they were prepared to put in writing that that part-time job was permanent. So with TD, we were allowed to use that part-time income, and we got them the mortgage. And obviously, means tens of thousands of dollars in commission for the real estate agent. He was happy that he got to pay his mortgage as well that month, and the month following. And it's a huge win. So tell us about what you're and this is not just that was just one example. We've done business together with new to Canada and other sorts of niches. Do you want to tell us a bit about your products and how you work over at TD? Because I know whenever I reach out to you with questions, and it's almost every day, it seems that you get back like almost immediately with the information that we need to help us differentiate ourselves and win people's confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, I know that we don't have too much time to go into my full product suite today, and I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of everything, just to kind of keep it very high level overview. But I will definitely talk about some of the main products and policies that we offer that can help provide solutions to your clients, and just ways that we can work within our policies to get to yes faster with TD. So, and that goes without saying, of course, you know, if you always feel like you may have a deal that might work at TD, but you're not quite sure, give me a call, email me. I'd be happy to discuss as well, because sometimes we can definitely operate in the gray. First off, so my name is Jessica Mazza. I'm your dedicated inside sales manager with TD. So I'll be your direct contact. I do know there's a whole bunch of you on this call. So what I would ask, just so that way I can get through some of the material I have prepared for you today, that maybe we keep questions to the end if you don't mind. And what I'll also do is I'll send a summary recap of everything I talk about today to David. And then David, if you don't mind dispersing that to the team as well as any others who are on the call today.
Sure.
I'm going to share my screen here, and hopefully I have permission to do that. You may not see me once I share my screen, but you should see my computer. Oh, David, it says host disabled attendance
Okay,
screen
sorry.
sharing.
Ooh. I thought I would be able to. I'm always able to assign co-host somebody as a co-host, and for some reason I don't see that now. Do you want to send me your presentation and I can bring it up? I don't see how I could do that now. It's up to you, or we could just talk.
You know what, we'll just talk.
Okay.
I'll still go through some of my material, but then that way there we can keep it more open dialogue, and then you can jump in if need be.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So the way TD's service model works, just to give you an idea about how we operate, we're quite unique in this sense, is in one specific territory, we have two dedicated reps at TD. We have one that would be called the inside sales manager, which is myself. And then we have another dedicated rep called our regional sales manager. And David, I think you might have worked with Dominic in the past. But the way our framework works is ideally brokers or agents that use TD frequently and all the time, like let's just say 5 to 6+ deals a year or more, would be on Dominic's platform. And then maybe for the newer agents starting out and maybe just submitting a deal or two to TD, that's where I come in. And of course, my goal ultimately would be to get you onto Dominic's top 100 list for the territory.
And Jessica, I just
yes.
I figured out how to make you a co-host.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, bear with me, then. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Okay, let me know if you can see.
It's coming up. Yes, can see.
Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so David, you're familiar with this, but for others on the call, when it comes to our general underwriting and our TDMS model, so our underwriting is actually subcontracted to First National. They do underwrite all the TD deals. They're not also working on First National teams. We have teams that are completely stood up and independent to review our deals, but they are FN employees. The way the structure of their teams work when it really comes to getting one deal done, we've got really 4 people assigned. We have the underwriter, who's going to be the initial contact person that receives the deal, reviews it, underwrites it, provides you with a decision. Then we also have our fulfillment officer. They are the individual that's going to review all of your documents. So once an underwriter issues a commitment letter, it'll have XYZ conditions on the commitment. All of the documents that are required to satisfy those conditions, you would then forward to a fulfillment officer. We also have a funder. That person is going to work with the solicitor to get instructions out. or they'd also be the same individual that would work with FCT if we're working with them on the refinance side of things. And then, of course, we also have a credit manager as well that kind of oversees the entire application. So lots of folks working on one deal to make it happen. It's designed that way to kind of see it through and through and to have dedicated and specialized folks on their tasks at hand, just because so much, of course, goes into one deal. So submissions to TD Bank, if you are submitting through Filogic or Verico, whichever platform you're using, you would submit with yourself as the agent, but then David would be the submission agent. And that just ensures that you guys would all be pooled to the same underwriter. When it comes to our funding ratio, we do ask that a minimum funding ratio of 75% is required. In the event that you do need to cancel a deal for whatever reason, please let me know. Just it gives me line of sight, or perhaps even an opportunity to maybe save the deal. And if there's, of course, something that we can do on our end. Okay, so another tip about when submitting to TD generally, we do not require documents upfront unless it is a complex file where an underwriter does request documents upfront. Uploading documents right away to the TD portal on a submission, to be honest, actually slows down your deal if it's like a standard, vanilla type purchase. But if it is, again, something that's more complex, like we're talking multiple rentals, new to Canada, business for self applicants, those do take more time to review, and having those documents up front will definitely help, because you can expect that the underwriter is going to come asking for those right away. Minimum Beacon score for any file, it can change based on the actual property type, but minimum Beacon score is 650. That's just a basic rule of thumb. We will consider exceptions that's slightly below 650, and when I mean like slightly below, I'm talking, like 648. We'll look at that, but generally anything below 650, it's not going to classify as a TD deal. Okay, so
Jessica,
really basic,
is that new?
yes.
Because I did a deal last year with TD where there were 4 applicants, and the mother had a Beacon score of under 600.
So in cases where there's other applicants on a deal that's going to bring strength to the application, we will look at that. And especially maybe perhaps where we didn't use any income for her to qualify, and rather it was just her name going on title. So that's why she was on the deal. But in terms of that changing, it's always been 650. But again, exceptions can be made where it makes sense. Where I say, like, if it's like a sole individual and you're submitting the deal and they've got a Beacon score of 600 and there's nobody else being added to the deal to bring in kind of strength, we won't look at that. Okay, so our TD portal, this is a really useful tool, and I highly encourage you to use it when you do start submitting deals to TD. The TD portal is where you can get all kinds of information with respect to your deal, but also where rates are available, your underwriter information is available, status updates of your deal, so on and so forth. That's definitely the preferred communication type that underwriters and fulfillments want you to use when it comes to actually getting your documents uploaded. Reason being, let's just say your underwriter or your fulfillment is away, but you've sent all the documents to them via email. You're waiting for some kind of correspondence. Nobody can really jump in and take a look at the deal because nothing's uploaded to the portal. So if you do upload all of your documents to the portal, it's a hub where anybody who may need to jump into the file at any time has access to what you've communicated so far. Okay, I'm going to jump into our rates. Weekly, I send out rate emails. David, I believe you get 2 emails from me. You get my broker standard rate, and then you also get what's called my RSM discretionary pricing. So any deal that is submitted to TD has to be submitted with the broker rates. So these are just rates that you would find online. They're accessible on our portal as well. Even if you're not submitting with these rates, these are the rates that are going to come back to you on your commitment. Anything that's lower than the broker rate or my RSM discount rate for that matter can always be requested once you have a live approved deal. So my RSM discount rates do change. It really just depends on where margins are at and where rates are at, but typically they're anywhere from an extra 5 to 10 basis points off of the broker rate. So the rate process, what that looks like through me is, so you submit your deal with the broker rate. Once you've got a commitment in hand and it's a live deal, not a pre-approval, you would email me either A, requesting my RSM discount, which comes at no extra cost to you, or you can email me for a rate that's lower than my RSM discount, which would of course then have to get submitted to head office for additional review. So we are definitely competitive with our pricing. So don't necessarily take the broker rate sheet for face value. There's always room for additional basis points, and things to keep in mind: the closer we are to closing and the larger the mortgage amount, the better rate we can provide a client with. Obviously, it just makes sense. The larger the deal, there's more margin there. So we can definitely be more competitive on that front. Sometimes getting a rate lower than my RSM discount rate would involve a buy down if it's a fixed rate. And then if it's a VERM rate, we do not charge buy down costs on VERMs. So that's definitely something to keep in mind as well. Okay. The other thing I want you to keep in mind, especially when it comes to rates, is that we do not have an auto rate drop policy. So what that means is if you get one price today and rates drop tomorrow, your client is not automatically getting the benefit of the lower rate. Rather, you actually need to request that lower rate from me directly, and then I can authorize the underwriter to make that rate change for you. So we don't have that auto rate drop policy. However, you can request as many rate drops prior to closing as necessary in the event that the rate drops that many times. So for example, if you've got a deal committed today, but it's not closing for another 3 or 4 months and rates drop, say 5 times before closing, you can actually drop that rate 5 times on that deal. We're not going to cap you on how many times you can request a rate drop. However, we do need at least a minimum of 3 full business days prior to closing before we can kind of commit to any kind of rate drop. Reason being is anytime a rate changes, we have to instruct the solicitor if we've already done so. So if we've instructed and then rates drop, we need to re-instruct because of course the client's cost of borrowing will change. So we definitely ask that we have a minimum of 3 days prior to closing before any rate drop can be agreed upon or approved. As I mentioned, I do send out weekly rates send out the rates every week, whether they change or not. So definitely keep an eye out for my rate emails. Okay, another little helpful tip that I think is good to know when it comes to TD's underwriting process. For conventional deals, we will either have to order a full appraisal, a drive-by appraisal, or what's called APV. APV is just our automated property valuation. It saves your client's time and money. Essentially what it is, it's just like a system generated automated property valuation means you don't have to go through the hassle of getting an appraisal ordered or completed for your clients. Not all property types are going to be eligible for APV, but some helpful tips to make sure that we can get a successful APV would be to make sure that the proper address, including postal code, is there. Actual property tax value should be used in the application. So what I mean by that is sometimes some agents or brokers will just round off and say taxes are $5,000 when meanwhile, taxes are $4,975. Like put the actual property tax value because it's very rare you're going to see $5,000 on the tax bill. So keep the tax values true to what they're at for successful APV. And then, of course, we want to make sure that the value that you're putting in, if it is a refinance, is reasonable. So the way the APV system works is it will literally check recent sales and valuations that have been in the system in the past. And if it kind of fits within that parameters, then the likelihood of a successful property valuation is greater. Keep in mind that not all properties are eligible for APV. So like rentals, new constructions, or private sales are just some of the ones that are not eligible for APV.
Jessica, what does that stand for again, APV?
Automated property valuation.
Oh. And that's usually either a reduced cost relative to an appraisal or no cost, probably
And the
reduced.
cost for APV is $99,
90, no, it's right
which
there.
is,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Thank
which
you.
is significantly lower than what, you know, NAS or Solidify or RPS, for that matter, would charge you to do a full appraisal.
Very good.
Okay, so I'm going to just jump into some basic general TD Bank criteria in terms of what we do on the TD side, and then I will definitely list some products that we offer as well, because I know that was your ask. But again, I'm not going to jump into the details of all the policies because there are so many. Rather, if you do have questions, you can definitely feel free to either email me or call me after the presentation. Okay, so we definitely do switches and transfers. So if you've got a client coming up for renewal elsewhere and you're looking to switch them over to TD, we can definitely process it as a switch, which means that the client doesn't pay for a new set of legal fees. We literally transfer the charge in as is, provided the lender is on our approved list, and that the charge we're trying to move over is a conventional standard charge. We do allow for slight tolerances of the mortgage value when we're processing as a switch. But if the client is looking, of course, for more money than what they currently owe at their other lender, we then need to process this as a refinance, not a switch. Clients with past or prior, past prior bankruptcy or consumer proposals, etc., we will look at those on a case-by-case, provided TD was never part of the prior bankruptcy or consumer proposal and that they've been discharged for at least a minimum of 2 years. And we also don't look at refinances for those folks, only clients who are looking to purchase and potentially get back into the market with good established history since their bankruptcy or proposal. Some basic features that we offer on these are for fixed or variable rate mortgages. We offer payment pause, payment vacation, as well as prepayment privileges. So even though clients are entering into a closed term with us, we do allow them to, you know, put up to 15% of their principal amount each year to help reduce that principal over time. And obviously, of course, just saving them interest in the long run. We do allow clients to port. So in the event they are selling their property with, you know, say 2 to 3 years left on their term, rather than facing a significant IRD penalty on the sale, we allow them to port that property to their new, or we allow them to port that mortgage to their new property that they're purchasing to save on the penalty, and they just end up with like a new blended rate. That would be for the equivalent remaining term of their existing mortgage. The flip side to our port that we allow would be called our replacement. Not to confuse the two, that are very different. So port policy only accommodates clients with IRD penalties, whereas replacement mortgages are strictly for clients who have paid or are going to be faced with a 3-month interest penalty. So if the client is facing a 3-month interest penalty, we can just simply replace the mortgage as long as they come back to TD within a 12-month period, or on a refinance as well if they're facing that 3 months, as long as they add an extra $20K of new money, we would give them that 3-month interest penalty back.
Jessica, I just want to take a pause because we only have 5 minutes left. So I just want to take a pause to see if anybody has questions, either for me or for you, Jessica. And also, Jessica, please put your contact information somewhere, either on the screen or in the chat, so that people can also call you directly if they wish. Does anybody have any questions for either myself or for Jessica at this point in time? IRD, of course, stands for interest rate differential. And sometimes penalties can be quite large, not specifically with TD, but just depending on how much time is left in a contract and what has been happening with rates, right? If rates have gone down since the time you took out your mortgage, you're more likely to get hit with a larger penalty for paying out the mortgage. But TD is flexible in helping people if they're moving. To mitigate that, and they can port the mortgage over. Is that correct, Jessica?
Yeah, absolutely. You
Okay,
got it.
very good. Okay, so you might
What
as
else
well
do you,
continue. Mind you, let me just see, because let me unmute everybody. That might be a good idea. It'd be easier to ask questions, obviously. Um,
actually, David, if you
yeah,
don't mind, what I'll
go
do
ahead.
is, because I know we only have a few minutes, so we can
Yes,
definitely keep those last few minutes for Q&A. I had a couple slides to go through which lists our products, but
go ahead. Go
perhaps
ahead.
if
Please
this
do
is
that. Please do that.
better, what we can do is I'll recap everything we talked about in an email to you today, including our broker kit, as well as a lot of information we discussed, as well as my contact information. Just because I see there's 20 plus people on the call, so it'll just be easier to circulate my information out that way. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. Okay. So I guess we can open it up for questions at this point.
Yeah. Okay. So let me close down the screen. I'm not seeing the button to unmute everybody all at once.
I can also stop sharing as well.
Okay. Okay, there, I've asked all to unmute. So anybody who wants to unmute should be able to unmute themselves if there are any questions. Your boss was, okay, does somebody else have a question? Does your boss want to say hello?
Sophia, are you here?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Hi, Sophia, how are you?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sophia Hunter Janis. I actually run the regional sales manager and inside sales manager in the GTA in Southwestern Ontario. Started with TD 21 years ago, so it's been a while for me. But of course, you're in the right hands with Jessica. Jessica and I actually know each other from the time back when we were in retail days at TD. And, I brought her over to the broker services channel because she was such a star. And so you definitely are in the right hands with Jessica. If you need anything, do feel free to reach out. She is great and kind of one of my policy experts as well on the team. So definitely reach out if you have any questions for that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. One time I got a mortgage approved by TD where the person had gone to a TD branch and had been declined at the branch, and I got it approved through TD. Sometimes it's just about how you structure a mortgage. It's about how you structure. This person had certain debts that need to be paid off, so we simply arranged the mortgage so that various debts were going to be paid off from the proceeds of a refinance in order to bring the debt service ratios into line. And we were able to get the approval. TD's always been fast on the mark, where getting up when you have a short period of time, if you're trying to win the confidence of a real estate agent, you need to do everything you can to get that approval inside that window. Last week we were working on a deal, Angela and I, and we were having some difficulty because the property was declined by two of the insurers because of some financial issues around the property. And once it was approved by CMHC, the underwriter got the approval out within minutes, and we met the deadline. Are there any comments, questions, anyone? Jessica, was there something else you wanted to say?
Well, no, I just thank you so much again for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And again, definitely happy to address any extra questions you have offline. I did put my email in the chat box, but I will definitely circulate the extra information that we talked about today with you, David, and then that way there you can send it out to everybody else as well for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Jessica. People, if you have questions about anything you've seen here today, about our new marketing program, or about anything else, please feel free to give me a call as well. I look forward to hearing from you and look forward to working with you all. Thanks very much for joining, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your afternoon and week. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.